choices. This was your calling, your destiny. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
What is happening, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Movie Madness. And today we are talking about Tom Cruise's new movie, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And when I tell you that this movie was absolutely insane, it had me at the edge of my seat the entire time, sweating in places that I didn't even want to be sweating in. It's to say the least. This movie was absolutely such a great time at the movie theaters, and we definitely got to talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, right off the bat, I have to say that this movie is an absolute love letter to the entire Mission Impossible franchise, because not only is it a continuation of the last few movies that we've seen, with Ethan Hunt and his team, but there are so many callbacks to a lot of the older movies as well, and very surprisingly, some really crazy connections to the very first Mission Impossible movie, and that feels like a forever ago that came out. So if you remember watching that movie, like, this movie literally is such a nostalgia trip, taking us all the way back to the very first mission that we get introduced to Ethan Hunt. And man, it was a hell of a roller coaster ride, I have to say. This movie clocks in at least 2 hours and 49 minutes. Yeah, almost a 3-hour movie. But even though I'm pretty sure it's the longest one out of the franchise, the pacing worked so well that it didn't feel like I was there that long, and it just kept like building and building the entire time the movie was going on. And like I said, I mean, this movie had me sweating so bad. I was checking my heart rate every so often, and I was just like my heart rate was spiking at certain moments, because they are some really truly incredible moments in this movie where it did feel like, are they actually gonna pull this off? Because it did feel like a crazy impossible mission for this story. Now, of course, with that being said, we do follow Ethan. I want to say it is a few months after the events of the last movie, Dead Reckoning Part 1. It was called Part 1 because this one was supposed to be called Part 2, but they changed it at the last minute and gave it The Final Reckoning, which it was an appropriate title for this movie. And basically trying to stop the AI known as the Entity from causing total global catastrophe, and basically trying to restart humanity, because we all know that having an advanced AI system is great for humanity. Not really. They're gonna see that we're the problem, and that's basically what this movie does. And of course, we get introduced to the team. I mean, we have Luther, we have Benji, we have Grace, who was introduced in the last movie, played by Haley Atwell. And then one of my favorite characters, Paris. She is absolutely great in this movie. I love that we got some more screen time with her too in this movie. And yeah, I mean, this movie, if I had to say another like focal point of this movie, is that it is truly grander in scale. And I'm talking about from the stunts to the scenery to, where they go in the world to get to the next part of the mission. It was just put on such a grand scale compared to some of the other movies that I'm gonna definitely say this is probably my favorite Mission Impossible movie to date, because this was absolutely incredible. Now, of course, a Mission Impossible movie is only as good as its villain, and when I tell you, besides the AI, the Entity being the villain, Gabriel's character, who again was introduced in the last movie, was an absolute insane insane villain. Now, although he's not getting he does get a good amount of screen time in this one, the only disappointment I had with his character is that we didn't get more of a backstory as to how him and Ethan really kind of met, and what was their history. They didn't really touch on that. They just kind of continued with the modern day story of him trying to get his hands on the key that Ethan got away from him on the last movie, and just him being a menace. And he was an absolute great character, really intense in certain moments. So I definitely had a lot of fun with him as well. One of the other things that I absolutely loved about this were a lot of the stunts that were done in this movie. Now, if you know Tom Cruise, I mean, he likes to make things as authentic as he can. And I watch a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and to see some of the things that I saw in the behind the scenes, which you'll see in the movie, there's a point where he's underwater in a submarine. Like, they actually built an entire set, like a grand scale like set, to film this sequence, and you can just feel being in that moment and being in, like with Ethan during all of this, and it just made it so intense. And of course we had the major stunt for this movie, which was him hanging on the damn plane. And again, that was an actual stunt. Like, he was buckled in the harness, but he was literally struggling to hold on to the side of a plane as it was flying. And when you watch the movie and see how it all just unfolds, it's absolutely insane, to the point where, like, you could tell, like, he's actually doing these crazy moments in that whole sequence. Like, he's actually doing it, and it's like, man, freaking Tom Cruise is like the man literally wants to give you his best performance and doing like all these crazy stunts, and you can just see the love and the passion he has for these movies and what he wants to do. He even said it himself, if he can do this until he's 100, then he's a happy man. And I believe him. I mean, if he could, he would. I mean, he puts down the money. He definitely, he's a fan of the franchise himself, and he could tell he puts his heart and soul into it. And this movie, beyond amazing, just beyond. Now for the big question that we were all wondering when it came to the title change and how some of the promotion for the movie is this the final adventure for Ethan and his team? Honestly, I wish I could answer that. The way the movie is done and the way it ends, I mean, it could go either way. I mean, it ends in a way to where this could be the final movie and we don't have to see any more, and then it also ends in a way where, I mean, they could just pick up another storyline and adventure in 2 to 3 years from now. It's definitely left open interpretation, so I'll leave it to you guys to check out and see what you guys think. Leave your comments below on that, in that regards. Like, do you think we're gonna get another Mission Impossible movie? I mean, we're already on 8, so and it's gonna make the money. We know it is. The visuals are amazing, the action's awesome. So I would love to see more. I would love to see loads of these movies. These movies are always entertaining, so I don't know, we'll see. Well guys, we're at the end of the video where I give you my verdict, and like I said, this movie absolutely amazing. Definitely should be watched on IMAX. The action's there, the stunts, the emotional points are in there too. Like I said, it is a love letter to the entire franchise, because I mean, we get to see so many surprise cameos and connections to all the previous movies, not just the last couple that introduced some of these characters, but I mean all the way to Mission Impossible 1. And because of that, and for many other reasons, I have to give this movie a 5 out of 5. Absolutely a must watch in the movie theaters. Such a good time. Tom Cruise is the man. I mean, he did amazing. Kudos to the entire Mission Impossible team and the crew, the director. Everybody deserves their flowers for this movie. This movie is a must watch, and I can't give it enough praise. This was such a great movie. Again, it is like almost a 3 hour movie, but the way the pacing is done and the way the story unfolds, it doesn't feel like you're sitting there for that long. At least it didn't for me. So if you've already seen the movie, what did you guys think of it? What were some of your favorite parts? Of course, just leave a comment down below, and let's have a discussion about it. As always, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to come check out another video, and we're almost to 400 subscribers. About 100 more, we get to 500, we're going to be doing our next giveaway. So just like, share, spread the word. Let's build the community up some more. I mean, we've had some great people commenting, and just having great conversations, and that's what this is all about. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.